Good day, I'm Andrea Chisholm and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, October 7. Jamaica has not signed a prisoner transfer agreement with the United Kingdom. National Security Minister Peter Bunting gave that assurance to Parliament yesterday as he reiterated that the administration had only signed a non-binding memorandum of understanding that may or may not result in such an agreement. He said a special select committee of Parliament would be established to determine if Jamaica should accept the UK's proposal and under what conditions.
There is no guarantee at this time that this administration will sign a prisoner transfer agreement with the UK. The government of Jamaica would only sign a prisoner transfer agreement after adequate public education and debate and the enactment of new legislation in the Jamaican Parliament.
The UK government is proposing to give Jamaica £25 million to help build a new maximum security facility and £5.5 million for rehabilitation. This is contingent on the signing of an agreement to have Jamaicans in UK prisons finish their sentences on the island. The National Security Minister insists that the proposed prisoner transfer agreement would not be at a net cost to Jamaican taxpayers as the period for transfer could be limited. He adds that each case would be subject to an administrative and judicial review, and UK citizens in Jamaican prisons would also be eligible for transfer to their home country. Another group of public sector workers has accepted government's 7% wage offer for the 2015-2017 contract period. The Finance and Health Ministries signed an agreement on Tuesday with the Jamaica Enrolled Assistant Nurses Association. Health Minister Dr. Fenton Ferguson commended the assistant nurses for being the first batch of health workers to formally accept government's wage offer. Under the agreement, the enrolled assistant nurses will also have access to $2 million in grant funding for training. Minister with responsibility for the public service, Horace Daly, added that government would also be fulfilling a previous commitment made to them and other health workers.
$7 billion worth of reclassification, and 2 payments have been made already. And the third and final payment is to be made in this financial year.
In the meantime, public sector workers represented by the Jamaica Confederation of Trade Unions and the Jamaica Teachers Association will start receiving their 7% salary increase by the end of October. A timeline for the enrolled assistant nurses to get their increase is being worked out. Non-teaching staff at primary schools are to receive retroactive monies owed to them starting next week. The Ministry of Education says next week's disbursement is the first of a 2-part payment owed to the workers. They will get 50% of the 3 one-off payments that were due to them under a previous wage agreement between government and public sector employees. The balance will be paid in December 2015. Foreign Affairs Minister Senator A.J. Nicholson has joined the call for members of the United Nations to do more and do better to address global challenges in the next decade. Minister Nicholson delivered Jamaica's policy statement at the 70th session of the UN General Assembly on October 2. He argued that despite the laudable achievements of the organization, the global community had fallen short of expectations in some key areas. The Foreign Affairs Minister said Jamaica was looking to the collective will and action of the international community to tackle ongoing crises that threaten global peace and security and to reach an ambitious agreement on climate change. In the meantime, Foreign Affairs State Minister Arnaldo Brown says Jamaica is in full support of the United Nations 2030 Sustainable Development Agenda. It replaces the 2015 Millennium Development Goals (MDGs).
Jamaica fully endorses Agenda 2030. We believe that it is a worthy successor to the MDGs. For while the MDGs provided a useful tool for focusing development efforts, this agenda will help to ensure that these efforts are sustainable. It is no coincidence that it is an agenda for people, planet, prosperity, peace, and partnerships.
The State Minister was addressing the United Nations Development Programme Jamaica's Social Good Summit held recently at the University of the West Indies Bona campus. On September 25, world leaders at the UN General Assembly adopted the new agenda, which seeks to complete a number of human development initiatives across the globe. These include ending hunger and eradicating inequality over the next 15 years. Farmers in and around Trelawney can now access services offered by the Rural Agricultural Development Authority, RADA, following the opening of an office in the parish. Speaking at the recent opening ceremony, Agriculture Minister Derek Kelly said farmers would get greater benefits as RADA moved to adopt and use new and modern technologies. He urged the authority to employ more mitigation measures against climate change and natural disasters to ensure continued growth in the sector.
I want to challenge RADA to develop an even greater collaboration with the ministry's research division in identifying and introducing new drought-resistant crop varieties to our farmers to ensure the sustainability of our agricultural sector.
Minister Kelly said the new RADA facility, which was built at a cost of approximately $80 million, was money well spent. The building will also house the Jamaica Agricultural Society and the Jamaica 4-H clubs. And finally, Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller is apologizing for not being able to keep a number of speaking engagements this week due to laryngitis. A release from the Office of the Prime Minister says Mrs. Simpson Miller's hectic schedule, including weeks of public speaking activities, has led to an irritation of her vocal cords. As a result, she has been advised by her doctor to rest her voice. So while she remains on the job, the Prime Minister will not be in attendance at several events at which she was scheduled to be the keynote speaker. And that's it for JIS News today. Amanda Chisholm, thank you for watching.